Okay, remember this from earlier? This thing that maybe we thought was a place to dig at first, but no, it's actually a place to plant this. Hey, I'm like, now that's a serious seedling. Why don't you tell me? Only downside is it's going to take basically forever for a seedling that big to grow into a full tree. That's true. And so what you actually have to do, if you plant that, then nothing much will happen. So what we actually have to do is go back in time. This is not just a one-time thing for our cutscene. We can go back in time whenever we want. Until now, there really hasn't been much to do. I mean, we can't go outside. It'd be interesting to know what was outside. So yeah. Now, let's go back into the future and see what happens. It's a nice little throwback to Ocarina of Time. With the, planting the seeds in the past and watching them grow in the future. But, well, in just 7 years, they can grow into a little beanstalk that flies. It's going to happen if we leave this for 100 years. Pretty impressive. And we finally grew the fruit of life, so I think that it wasn't a problem. Is the tree something or what? No wonder it's called the life tree. How would you know that, Goose? And now we get the life tree fruit, eating this succulent fruit. So the fire dragon is really the only one that hasn't gotten sick. That's nice. Oh hey, there's a Triforce up there. I don't think I noticed that before. So, something that we can do, at least I thought it was something we could do. Remember the Grusinator thing that launched us into the woods? We were supposed to be able to use that. Great. Fantastic. I care so much about my 8th woodland rhino beetle. No, we're supposed to be able to use this to warp back or something. Right? Maybe we just can't do it now, but I'll tell you what, in the future, we would have been able to warp back to that. And one of the places we can warp back to is even the very place, the Thunder Dragon area, Lanayru Gorge. But I guess we can't do it now since Bruce is too busy staring at the tree. It shouldn't take that long, but won't be too short either. It really won't take more than a minute, so I don't think there's much need to cut. Since after this we won't be doing much. My plan is to get the Goddess treasure chest in the Sand Sea. And any other Goddess treasure chest that might be in the desert. Now, we have 3 pieces of heart left. I know exactly where 2 of them are, and they're both in the desert. And one of them is gotten by the roller coaster. There's actually another one by another minigame. I totally forgot. I didn't forget about it, but I forgot you can get a heart piece from it. Maybe that's what we could do, actually, because get the heart piece is not that bad. Okay, so we got a lot of warp points here, but here's our new one, Lanayru Gorge. That didn't take that long. Pressing it too early by accident is a speedrunner's nightmare. I wonder if there have been any speedruns of this game yet. Probably is too new. There haven't been enough, you know, sequence breaking glitches discovered. Oh, Link, hello there. Is there something you need? Oh ho! Is that what I thought it was? You brought this here for me, didn't you? Down the hatch. Zing-a-ding-ding-ding. Oh, you've done it, boy. I can feel the fruit's effect surging through me. Finally. You do look like a real dragon. You look kind of small up there, though. So now, can we get your part of the song? Alright, let's hear it. Kind of reminds me of Zeus, I think. You know, I mean, he's a thunder dragon, so. I really don't like how they made the fire dragon so unmemorable. Because the water dragon was memorable, alright, and this guy, you know, you actually have to do a bit more for him, and there's even more you can do with him. So I kind of wonder why that was. Link, I owe you my life. You have to let me repay you. Give me some time to prepare. When you next return to visit me, I'll be mighty pleased. Well done, Master. Yes, we've done all 3 parts of the Song of the Hero. And remember, I'm going to warn you one more time. The game makes it seem like you can do these in any order. But if you do this part first, and then go talk to the Goron when they remind, and the game will lock up, you won't be able to do the volcano and forest parts. Okay. Okay. So yes, this game does actually have a boss, not really a boss rush mode, it is a boss rush mode. So, we can fight all the bosses we've done again, and even do all the silent realms we've done again. Which is a blessing, because the very next episode is going to be... Yeah, it's going to be that. And the silent realm is even going to let us get more dusk relics again, and then we'll be able to get our goddess shield. Unfortunately, that's now useless, because this is how we get the best shield in the game. The Hylian shield, but we're not going to do that yet. So, we've currently faced 10 bosses right now. Girahim twice, the Imprisoned 3 times for a total of 5. 10? No, we've only faced 9 so far. Excuse me, we've only had 9, because it does not count Levias and Biloclyde as a boss. So, the 6 dungeon bosses, and then the Imprisoned 3 times. So, yeah, do well enough, we do get a sturdy shield. That's the grand prize, but... But to get the heart piece, which is the sort of minor prize, we only have to beat 4 bosses. Okay, so you get to pick the way this works is that you get to pick the first boss you face, and then the rest of them are all random. And you could pick a boss that you have trouble with first to get it out of the way, but since we're only going to be fighting 4, I'm going to pick bosses that I have a relatively easy time with first. So, who's an easy boss from this game? I mean, Scaldera is pretty much the easiest, but I don't know. I actually have an easier time. I'm gonna go with Moldarak. The creepy crawly is the big bug you fought. Forgot to tell you something. The only items you can use in battle are items you would have had at the time. Yep, that's it. Also, pouch items are prohibited. I know that sounds really hard, but you forgot these guys once before, so I've got to keep it interesting. Maybe I'm being a little rough on you here. Tell you what, I'll let you take the shield you currently have equipped. You all set? You got a shield and everything? Yeah, let's do this. I do have a shield equipped. Unfortunately, we can't, switch the shields. This one gets low, but... Okay. And yes, we're even timed on this. Great. Oh man, if they had something like this in Twilight Princess, I would wreck it. And yeah, this is actually interesting, because the bosses in this game are legitimately challenging. I'm pretty sure you can actually use your slingshot on the eyes to stun them, so that you can hit them, but I don't really think there's much of a point to that when you can just use your sword and then your shield. Come on, here. This isn't a good start to what's supposed to be the easiest boss. Now, one thing about this is that there are a few bosses with hearts in the room, and the only bosses in the game that have hearts that you can get in the room are the first two, the first Girahim, Scaldera. Kalactos has a few, but not like that much. Scaldera has a ton. And then the Imprisoned has hearts. Might give me. Okay, why am I not using my shield for that? I mean, they let me take it. And yeah, like, you can't even press the minus button. It's about as good as having the cursed medal. Okay, good. No. Okay, good. Now we got that part out of the way, which is kind of the harder part. Okay. So I'm sorry if this is going to be boring, but this will probably, I'll just probably make an episode out of this. There. Yeah. I think the part with the claws is actually harder. I mean, this isn't hard. I don't even think he can hurt you here. But yeah, I guess it could be a little annoying sometimes. I don't know if we get to keep our stronger shield. Come on, here. It shouldn't be that much longer. Where are you? And when I do this for real and beat the 8 and get the... and get the Hylian shield, then... So after every time we beat a boss, we get a consulting with the Thunder Dragon. And every time you beat a boss, relive a boss for the first time, you get 50 rupees. Yeah. Yeah. So it's it keeps going all or nothing. And your shield durability and hearts will carry over. Of course, well, ours regenerates. Quit now and you get yourself a not too shabby. Yeah, we're going to continue. We don't want the small treasure, but we want what's coming after. For consecutive battle, I get to choose what's going right next. I mean, you didn't really want to... Yeah, that would have been kind of annoying. I guess. So we got to see who we're going to get. This is Girahim number 2. Okay. You know how to beat this guy. With like more than one hit. There we go. Oh. There aren't any hearts in this room, so I better not fail. Okay, good. We have the Master Sword. I have a feeling it is going quicker. Oh no, you landed right on me. That wasn't part of the plan. Alright. What you got? Keep running. This is actually easier than the other one because he, if he misses you, then it doesn't matter where you slash, you'll hit him. Of course, he still has that old attack too. feel like we're doing... Oh, yeah, that was much easier than the other one. I have to keep that in mind, that this fight actually does become very easy with this sword. That was a very good time there. I just hope we don't get a boss that takes too long. Like the Imprisoned 2 is probably the hardest one for me. 100 rupees, so that's a pretty good prize. I mean, you can actually go up to 2 gold rupees here. And even like 3 rare treasures and stuff like that. I can't tell if this is number 1 or 2. I'm pretty sure it's number 1 because there's no Groot single. So yeah, it has to be number 1. Actually, there's a better way to check. Yeah, it is number 1. If it was number 2, we would have had the bow and arrow. So that's good. This guy's a piece of cake. We can even get some hearts back in this battle. I don't know who we're going to get for number 4, but it could be a boss that could take considerable hearts away, like the Imprisoned number 2. And I should have just been able to tell by the fact that he didn't have arms, right? There are hearts here, right? There have to be. So yeah, if you thought you were already fighting this boss enough, then well, if you plan to do this, then unfortunately the prizes actually don't carry over, so you can only win 1 prize. So you can't just keep going and win it all. Which, on the bright side, that does actually eliminate the risk to, you know, oh, I'll go for it all. So it's like, even if I do it all, I'm not going to win all this stuff. Well, I hope we can draw another easy boss for the 4th one. It's funny how I should just pick this one first. This is the easiest boss there is. Well, I mean, I knew that Scaldera is easier, but the thing is, Scaldera has like a ton of hearts in the room, and I would kind of would like to get that one later. Oh, there are hearts up there. There we go. Luckily, you can still get to keep your upgrades, so we're still going to get the tough beetle. And yeah, you can still lose it all, but if you do let him get up to the temple, so beware of that. But it's not really a big problem here. Whoa, we're behind him. Get hearts there. I do want those hearts, just in case we draw somebody difficult. I mean, we only need 1 more hit, so it's not going to be a problem. Look how slow he's going. Oh, another heart. Oh, no. Okay. We're good. I mean, I was just doing this to get more hearts. We're fine. Now he's limping. It's funny how when he's upside down, like and lying on his back, he still kind of looks like he's right side up in a way. Finish. 239. I mean, I could have done it quicker if I wasn't going for the hearts, but you know, if we get someone like Tentuas, who could draw damage if you're not careful, or Coactos, or the Imprisoned 2, which would be the worst one. Hey guys, I'm sorry I've shut off in the middle because I used up all my recording time, I guess. I didn't think it would have been a problem, but I guess it was. The good news is, this is a boss that you've seen before. It's not the final boss or anything, you know. It might even be good to cut some of this out. But hopefully that didn't cut too much out. Although, I promise the next time I'll do this, I'll only show the bosses that I haven't rebattled before. I think that would be the best thing to do. Or maybe only show me defeating each boss, whether I rebattled it or not. Although I do kind of want to show them if I have rebattled. Okay, this is just... I know this is supposed to be the easiest boss in the game, and it is a joke. I mean, it kind of beats itself. But I just have so much trouble hitting it because of the way its eye moves. So, you know, because of that, there's no way I could call this the easiest boss in the game, even if it's... I could say it's definitely the stupidest boss in the game, but, you know, there's easier. $3.19 could have been better. I mean, my old best time is 59.59, so I beat that by quite a bit. And so just with that, so we do get the prizes. You know, we're not going to be getting these every time. Now I'm going to quit and take my piece of heart. Yeah, he's going to agree with us no matter what we do. And okay, we get our 22nd piece of heart in the game. This is Twilight Princess, and I'll say we still have a ways to go. Pretty much any other Zelda game, but in this Zelda game, it's almost the game. And not that I think about it, I mean, a lot of other Zelda games had less. So even though Skyward Sword's 24 is a little low, I mean, they've been lower. I mean, I think. Link to the Past only had 24, and that was the first game with heart pieces. You know, all the Game Boy Color games had 12. Minish Cap, despite being a handheld game, actually had 44, which, like, you would get... They pretty much handed over pieces of heart in that game. Like, everywhere you go. Because Minish Cap, most of the pieces of heart you found. You did not get the pieces of heart... Okay, some of them you got with the Kinstones, but a lot of them you just found. Like, you would not get pieces of heart for... I think there was one piece of the heart you got in the game from doing some kind of mini-game or side quest. Most of them you just found. And, like, so it really did feel like they handed them over. In, like, every corner there was one. And in this game, they seem to be very scarce, by comparison. So... I mean, even more scarce in a game like... You know, if you're looking at a Game Boy Color game, I mean, the worlds are relatively small, so you won't go too long without seeing one. Even if you can't get it at the moment. Okay, so bye.